Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a get ready with me video on this look here. I used plum, cranberry, and bronze shades, which are perfect for the fall. We are halfway through August. Wow, take a second. But we're rolling into fall, which is my favorite time of the year, so I'm excited. I also used the new Too Faced Born This Way foundation for the first time during this tutorial, and so far I'm really liking it. It definitely gives you a nice flawless finish without looking too cakey. I would recommend, however, if you have pores that are a little bit larger or any lines going on in your skin, you do want to prime your face with some sort of primer. Today I used the POREfessional primer by Benefit to prime the areas that I feel I needed to prime. If you do have flawless skin, then skip the primer and just go with the foundation. Again, so far I'm really liking this. This has been on for a couple hours now and I think it looks nice. I'm really happy with this. I also picked up this Laura Mercier loose setting powder in translucent. I have the Secret Brightening Powder. The Secret Brightening Powder is a little too white for me, so when I apply it, it does brighten up the under eye area. However, you do have that film of white powder on there, so I wanted to find something a little bit closer to my skin tone. You'll see in the video that I used the Laura Mercier powder to set my under eye area and do a little bit of highlighting underneath my contour to make that contour really pop. And so far I'm really enjoying this. I can really appreciate it being a little bit closer to my skin tone, like I said. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get started. Well, hello. We're going to start off by priming our face. I am using Benefit's POREfessional, and that is going to go in any areas that I have larger pores or lines. Again, this will keep the foundation from settling into your skin as the day goes on. After our face is primed, next step is foundation. Today I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and if you're wondering, I am in the shade Warm Beige. I apply this foundation on one side of my face to give you guys an idea of the coverage. This is a medium to full coverage foundation, and in the description they said that they had coconut water infused to replenish the skin's moisture and keep you hydrated. However, when putting this on, I did feel as if I needed to sheer it out a bit. It was a little too thick for me. So what I did was spray some MAC Fix Plus onto my kabuki brush, and I put it on that way, and it seemed to really give me a nice sheer flawless coverage. Here you can see the difference between the side that I applied the foundation on and then the other side, which is my bare face. All in all, I'm very happy with this foundation. I will definitely continue to use it. I really like that it brightens the skin's appearance. You can tell in the footage, it really does have a nice glowing effect. And then I really do love that it applies smoothly. Now remember, I did have to sheer it out a little bit with that MAC Fix Plus, but I do love that it just looks so soft on the skin. It really looks like your skin, but better. It doesn't look cakey. It applies nice and smoothly. Now that the foundation is on, I'm going to begin on my eyebrows. This is the way that I've been doing them lately. So what I like to do is take the spoolie end and brush my eyebrows down. This lets me see where all the sparse areas are on top. Next, I'm going to be outlining the top of my brows. So any of the sparse areas on top, I'm going to go ahead and fill in. And as I'm filling in those areas, I comb through the brows with the spoolie end. This will diffuse some of that product so that my eyebrows look a lot more natural. I've outlined and shaped the top of my brows. Now I'm going to comb the hairs up and I'm going to work on the bottom. I'm going to begin with my inner brow. There is a little bit of a sparse area towards the inner brow, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. I am then going to work on shaping the bottom of the brow. This is where combing through the brows is especially important. We want to decrease some of the density of the product, especially towards the inner brows. The inner part of the eyebrow is typically more sparse, so combing through that product will give you a more natural looking brow. Next is one of my favorite techniques that I've been using for years and years and years. I'm going to be applying this Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation. I apply this mousse foundation underneath my eyes as a concealer, and not only does it conceal, but it also fills in any hollow areas that I may have. So if you struggle with a little bit of hollowness under your eyes, definitely pick this up and try this trick. To prep my eyes, I'm applying MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC20. This concealer will give me a nice base for my eyeshadows by making that area all one shade and canceling out any veins or any darkness that I may have. I'm also applying the smallest bit right underneath my eyebrows with a flat shader brush. This technique just cleans up the under eyebrow area. It helps your eyebrows stand out, and it also allows you to get that concealer right underneath the eyebrows. Please excuse my heavily used foundation and my clumsiness. You can tell this Makeup Forever powder foundation has been heavily used, but I'm going to see what little bit I can pick up and apply onto my eyelids over that concealer. The concealer is very tacky, and if you apply eyeshadow over it, the eyeshadow will stick to that concealer, and then the blending out process will be just a little bit more difficult. So save yourself some time, add your favorite powder foundation over it, or add a shadow that is close to your skin tone right on top of there. That way the shadows will cling onto the powder that's already laid down and you won't have to be blending for days. The first shade that I'm applying is Soft Brown made by MAC. This will be a perfect shade for us to transition with. I will be applying a few different eyeshadows to the eyes, so adding this transition shade as a base will help all of the other shadows blend nicely. Going with the plum and copper theme, I'm going to be applying this maroon shadow first. This is a darker shadow, so you want to build as you go, which means pick a little bit up with your brush, tap off the excess, apply it into the crease, and then blend. Make sure you diffuse that intensity. And then I pick up a fluffy brush, the one that I use to put down our base color, and I also blend with that. Follow these steps until you get the intensity that you like. Next, I'm applying this deep purple shade made by MAC. It's in the name Sketch. Again, I will be building this shade on as well because it is much darker than the shade that we previously used. This dark shade will intensify our shadow a little bit and create more of a smoky eye. Again, I'm going back and forth with the brushes. I am blending all of my eyeshadows out with this big fluffy brush. This will create a beautiful, soft transition. To lighten up the center of the eyelid with all this smokiness going on, I'm applying a golden beige shade. Now this shade does have shimmer, and to intensify that shimmer, I've applied a little bit of Fix Plus to my brush. Next, I dipped it into the shadow, and then I apply it right to the center there. You guys can see here that I apply it in a pat and sweep motion. I first take the shadow and pat it onto the center of the eyelid, and then I take my brush and I just sweep that shadow around. Here I'm just applying that same shadow until I get the intensity that I want. I'm going to use this white shimmery shade made by MAC. It's in the color Shroom, and I'm going to apply that to my brow bone because we've got so many shades going on that our brow bone looks a little bare. So adding a brow highlight will definitely help tie all of the shadows together. To make sure all of our eyeshadows are even more blended together, I'm going to pick up that soft brown shade again with my fluffy brush, and I'm going to go over all of the shadows with that light shade. As you can see, it does make a little bit of difference. It not only blends out any harsh lines that were there before, but it also marries all of those shades together, softens them all up, and makes them all look like a beautifully blended out shadow. To soften up the inner eyebrows and make them appear even more natural, I am taking my kabuki brush that I applied the foundation with. I have nothing on this kabuki brush, just a little bit of that excess foundation, and I'm just pressing that foundation into the inner parts of the eyebrows. This will lighten them up a little bit and help them appear a little bit more sparse towards the middle and a lot more natural. Now onto one of my favorite parts, which is the real concealer. I'm using the Motives for Lala Color Perfection Quad in Medium. This is an amazing concealer that I actually was inspired to use from Sonia on Instagram. They are two sisters from the Middle East that are amazing makeup artists. They had featured this concealer on their page, and I was like, I have to try it out because their makeup is flawless. So I'm applying the medium beige shade underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, and in between my eyebrows, and I'm blending that concealer out with a damp beauty blender. Now for the other favorite part of mine, which is the contour, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I'm mixing the two shades Fawn and Java. I'm going to mix those shades for the perfect contour shade for myself, and I'm applying it onto my cheekbones, onto my temples, and then a little bit onto my jawline as well. Okay, now is the legit favorite part of my tutorial, and that is using my new translucent powder from Laura Mercier to highlight with, to powder highlight with. I am so excited for this. Here I'm picking it up with that damp beauty blender, and I'm going to carve out that contour line, which basically means I'm going to highlight underneath it to make the contour pop. Here I'm applying a little bit of the powder underneath my eyes. This will set the concealer, which will keep it in place all day long. It won't move around or settle in your fine lines. I am clearly enjoying the way that my highlight and contour looks at this very moment. I don't know what it is, but I love highlighting and contouring, and I love the way it looks before I blend it out. It's almost like a piece of art. I love it. Here I'm applying my favorite bronzer at the moment, which is MAC's Give Me Sun. I'm applying it onto where I contoured, which will warm up that contour line and bronze up my face a bit. On top of that, I'm applying a beautiful mauve blush made by MAC in the name Mocha. This will be perfect with the plum shades that we have going on. It'll tie everything in perfectly. This is also a great blush for fall and winter time. It's one of my favorite blushes that I own. It's a fantastic staple blush for your collection. It goes great with different skin tones. It's beautiful, and it's also very versatile. I love using it as an eyeshadow too. I'm now applying my favorite mascara in the entire world, of course, Lancome Hypnôse Drama. You can feel free to apply any kind of mascara that you love. Before I finish off the bottom lashes with mascara, I am applying some of that darker plum shade to my lower lash line. This will really balance out your smoky eyes. So if you love smoky eyes, try a little bit of shadow on your bottom lash line. You will see the difference. It really does balance out the entire look. I'm picking up some of that maroon eyeshadow, and I'm going to be applying it to the lower lash line to blend out some of that dark shadow that we just applied. This will also smoke out that lower lash line and complete the smoky look. Now that I've applied my blush and bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and blend out some of that highlight that I left on. I decided to round out this look with a berry lip. I thought it would pair perfectly with the eyeshadow and the blush. Here I'm using a lip liner made by NYX in the color Nude Pink. I love this color. This is a great dupe for MAC's lip liner in Soar. The quality is not that great. As you can see, it did break off while I was applying, but I did love the color, so I decided to go with it. I'm pairing this liner with a beautiful lipstick made by NARS in the shade Anna. It is a beautiful mauve rose lipstick with a little bit of a purple undertone. It reminds me of the Kylie Jenner look, the Whirl kind of lipstick look, and it's a perfect lip shade for the fall and winter season. To make this color a little bit more rosy and muted, I'm applying a little bit of MAC Smith to the center and then just blending out with my brush. I have absolutely been loving this lip combination lately. It creates the most beautiful soft rosy shade by adding that little bit of nude in the middle. I am obsessed. And that is it for my tutorial today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that button down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys, bye. If you do have flawless skin, however, no. No.